beautiful warm welcome to all of you to this sixth episode of My Avatar, My Identity. I can't imagine it's already six episodes. Time flies. And I have to thank you, each of you, our audience, for your unstinting support and the great enthusiastic feedback that you have given us for this series. In this episode of My Avatar, My Identity, we have for you a guest who's so not the typical corner office CEO, but then he is that and he is so much more. He embodies that spirit of resilience, the spirit of survival, the ability to take plans and policies made in big offices, big corporate places to every nook and cranny of India. We are talking about Mr. Ramesh Iyer, Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Mahindra and Mahindra Financial Services Limited. Hello, Ramesh, and a very warm welcome to you to the My Avatar, My Identity show.
Thank you very much. We'll make it very interesting for everyone, I hope.
Thank you. And I must take you back to that day when, as a young management trainee, you joined this group. And then over the next 30 plus years, you have actually risen within the same organization to become vice chairman and managing director of one of the largest group companies of the behemoth Mahindra Group. How is this journey? How did it feel? Can you tell us a little bit about this identity that you have developed over these years, Ramesh?
I think it's important that, what makes an organization or an institution. Many times everyone thinks differently. Some people think we have great products. Some people think we have great process and all kinds of stuff. My personal belief is it's great people who make institutions or organization. So therefore, I think the first level of identity for anyone is, how well do you identify yourself with people and how well people identify you within the organization, right? And if you can achieve that, then I think many things becomes so normal and natural. And that has to come only, and it will come only if we are willing to respect each other. That is what Mahindra Group is all about. Everybody gets hugely respected for what he or she is, and not for what they come from or where they come from, or not for what they deliver. They're respected first as human beings. Right?
Fantastic.
I think that makes life so easy in a group like this to then ensure that you start self-contributing and grow from there. I guess that must be the only reason that people stick to groups like this and stay here forever.
It's beautiful, beautiful. Trust and respect. I think you touched upon these two very, very crucial points, which is basically the bedrock of inclusion, the bedrock of belongingness. But I'm going to take you to a very different topic. I'm going to actually ask you about financial inclusion. I've heard that, you are known to pick up the phone and actually speak to truck owners, speak to people who are farmers in the heartlands of India, and speak to them about, their needs and their products. How did this mantra of financial inclusion, especially of rural India, how did it become so close to your heart, Ramesh?
So actually, if you look at credit has two sides. Your ability to give and their ability to repay, right? And I somehow believe that if you understand their ability to repay, you will be a more successful finance company rather than your ability to give, right? Okay. And therefore, their ability to repay, how do you understand? Only by interacting with them. There is no other way. I have not grown as a farmer, or I have not run a truck business. So I would not know the commercials of those businesses. So I have to learn it from the consumer. Now, when you decide that you want to learn from a consumer, there are only two ways of doing it. One is interact with them through any means that you can and spend as much time you can with them, right? So again, it's a partnership approach. It's very unfortunate as financial intermediaries. We provide more money to people who don't want, and we pressurize people who otherwise are circumstantially impacted for repayment. The attitudinal non-payers somehow escape the system.
Yeah.
And if I have to understand, therefore, if you have to look at the non-payment, you have to differentiate between circumstantial and intentional, right? And if you have to understand circumstantial defaulter, and design a product based on their capability, the only way is you become a part of them.
During this pandemic time, one of the things that I have actually learned by speaking to many leaders like you is the value of diversity, how that has become so important. And I know, having worked with your group, as an external facilitator, I am aware of the importance that you personally vest in diversity in the workplace. So, how has this pandemic really changed it? Has it made it difficult? Are you able to pursue your diversity and inclusion programs even now? Or has it undergone a change, Ramesh? What are your thoughts?
I think again, my take on this, we should not do all of this on a project basis. If you do it as a project to tick box, saying, oh no, we are into diversity program and this year we are going to devote so much time for this, I think it will never find its place in an organization. My take on this is it has to become a very natural and it should be a culture of the organization, right? So as you walk into my company and start speaking to anybody that you first meet, and in your own way you were to assess, are we that? And if you get a feeling, yes, this company seems to be doing it, then I think we have inculcated that as a culture and we're not running it as a project or a program.
Wonderful.
And once you run it as a culture, then it doesn't matter at what part of the day are you talking. Are you talking at difficult times or good times, right? So I have always told people that, these are times where you give space to the junior most fellow to express what he or she wants. This is not time where HO has to express, what should we be doing, how we should be saving cost, how we should be improving productivity. These are times to really listen to the last level of people because they are the ones who are suffering, right? You are still in the position to be able to tell them what is required. So I think that's the first level of inclusion, that you change the whole pattern in the organization to start listening to a very, very junior kind of a team member and then learn from their pain point as to what is required to be done.
Ramesh, I read this interview of yours where you're speaking about patience and you actually related it to your music teacher who had so much patience to teach everybody whether or not they were musically inclined. But we know for a fact that you are very musically inclined. And we also know that that is one of your go-to methods for you to re-energize yourself and to, bring back that energy in yourself. I'm going to, ask two things of you in this question. First is, apart from music, how do you maintain such a cool head? How do you handle all the pressures that come with this huge responsibility on your shoulders? That's my first question. And the second request is, could you sing us a little bhajan, by which we can share that musical happiness which you experience?
So, okay, so let me handle the first one first.
Right.
I think all of us have to first believe that everyone is as good as you are or even better than you in many ways. No sooner you start to believe that you are better than everybody because you are at so and so level, I think you already made a mistake, right? I think the most simplest way is whenever you're talking to someone 2 levels below you, 3 levels below you, you just imagine when you were at that level, what respect or what audience you got from your seniors. And if you were allowed to say what you wanted to, which is what brought out your best quality and that got you to where you're today, please allow that space to your people.
Okay.
And when you allow that space to your people, you realize, honestly, you realize that they are better than you in doing those things. Because certain things are meant for certain levels of people. So I keep telling people, you must involve yourself, but never interfere in what others do. And it's a very thin line of difference between being involved and interfering. I think I'm involved, but actually I interfere. So I must have the discipline of ensuring that I don't interfere while trying to do it, right? So if you do that, then you have less problem taking back home, right? Because you have left somebody else to do. And the second thing is build an organization or a team around you who will have the confidence to come and tell you about something that's gone wrong. So I tell all my people when I call you, please don't tell me all the good things you have done. Because that I'm seeing through the MIS and I must volunteer to compliment you if you have done a good thing. Why should you remind me of having done a good thing? My purpose of calling is to ask you what has not gone right, and is there a way I can help you? So if I built a team around this theme, then you know everything that's happening around you, and some things that don't go well, you can help them to do it better, and actually it reduces your burden. And that gives
Fantastic.
you the balance. I think that's what has helped me.
Okay, great. But how do you energize yourself? How do you build that mojo?
I think you must love what you do. So I look for always a new learning or whatever. This morning I was on a call with the Bihar and the Assam team because they were going through the flood situation.
Yeah.
Right? So I told them my only purpose of calling you is to just simply understand about how you and your families are. So please don't speak to me about business. Don't speak to me about collection, that someone else will do with you. Just tell me how you and your family are, because it's concerning us, having seen the news, right? And then they start telling you how things are. That automatically energizes you, because people tell you it's not as bad as you think it is.
Okay.
Right? So that, I think you must know to look for a good news when you talk to people. Unfortunately, when we talk to someone, we are already ready to disagree with that person as they speak itself. Right? And in the process, you miss out on the great good news that he or she is trying to tell you.
Wow.
Right? So when you talk to someone, just listen to them in such a manner that in every sentence there could be some good news for you. And you just get that and you feel so energized. Why are you then searching for it? You don't have to.
That's just fantastic. That's just fantastic. I think it's like, the saying that the universe has some positive message for you in every interaction, provided you are, open enough to receive it. That's just beautiful, Ramesh. Yes. So can you give our audience, the My Avatar audience, a small insight into the identity of Mr. Ramesh Iyer, the singer, please?
So don't use the word singer. That's too much of a title to handle.
Okay.
But instead of the whole song, maybe just one or two lines
sure.
of a bhajan, maybe, since you are asking me to do that. But
yes.
Okay. Shri Ramachandra, Jaya Ramachandra, Shri Ramachandra, Jaya Ramachandra, Raghuveera Ranadheera, Raghukula Rama, Raghuveera Ranadheera, Raghukula Rama, Shri Ramachandra, Jaya Ramachandra. I think that should be okay.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. It had that, that message of devotion and the message of sincerity, which is the hallmark of everything that you do, Ramesh. I mean, I just have, no words excepting thanks for the wonderful time that you've spent with us, taking our audience through so many myriad thought processes of the way you have built your career, of how you would like others to build their career. And all I have to say is a big, big thank you.
This is my avatar, my identity. My humble request to all of you would be, trust people when you empower them. If you trust, you will have a great place to live, a great world to live, a very happy world around you. Thank you.
Such a deep, powerful message from Mr. Ramesh Iyer, Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Mahindra and Mahindra Finance Private Limited. And that message is trust. Trust people, empower them. But before you empower them, get on the journey of trust. And isn't that not what inclusion is all about? When we speak about inclusion, when we speak about bringing different people into the workplace, the key to making them successful, to making ourselves successful, our workplace is wonderful, is trust. So with those words, I thank you all once again for being such an amazing audience in this series of My Avatar, My Identity. Till next time, goodbye, and keep watching, liking, and sharing, and do subscribe to the Avatar Women video series. Bye.